Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called Building a House Part 2 Masonry House Construction Documentary. This is German technology. I don't know much about German architecture. I do like the beyond like the houses, like the typical German houses that I think they're maybe like cement. I'm unclear on that. Or maybe it's just like wood panels. The ones that have like the little like they're white and they have like the black lines that I'm guessing it's columns. But I think that's only like from I think Baden and other like places. It's very like region specific. So I don't know much about like the actual, and obviously that's like super old. I doubt that people in Germany are still building houses in that matter. So I don't really know. And because I know that masonry, well, I think it's having to do with like stones, just like bricks and stuff. I don't know if it's like cement. I don't think masonry has to do with like you like put a wall like made out of cement with like, I don't know, columns. I don't really know much about building, I have to say. So I'm really excited to check this out because I don't really know much about it. So let's learn together and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
How is a house built? How does that work?
It's bricks. Yeah, I have no idea actually.
The complete construction of a typical German single-family home for more than 6 months.
Wow,
We were involved in every important step. From the first floor work to the finished house.
It looks incredible actually.
In the first part, the earthworks were carried out and the floor slab was cast. Now the masonry work continues.
Okay, so it's more, I don't know how the foundation actually, like, I don't know how you put a floor. I don't know anything about building houses.
The floor slab has hardened and the bricks are already there.
It's cement, right? That's what it says, slab.
Now it can start with the masonry.
The walls.
The first step, lay bitumen membrane. It protects the walls from rising damp. For the first row of bricks, a cement mortar has to be mixed, which later becomes as hard as concrete. It serves as an underfill to compensate for differences in height of the base plate. Because the stones must all be at exactly the same level. It starts at the
you have to
corners.
measure each.
A laser checks whether the height is correct.
Oh, it's a laser.
If the first stone sits and is exactly in balance, the next ones are aligned with it. In the other corners it happens the same way.
Oh, that's interesting. I would think it's totally like unbalanced, but no, it's like if one's correct, the other ones are okay.
For example, for windows and doors, must also be observed. The masons have the floor plan for this. Here on the south side of the house there is already the first special feature, 3 floor-to-ceiling windows.
Wow, floor-to-ceiling.
The row of bricks must therefore be interrupted here. Just like on the front for the front door. The first row is slowly taking shape. The masons work their way from the corners and put stone by stone. But what kind of stone is that exactly, which is installed
it's taking them so long, of course. It's just like few little people.
We do not work with the external wall insulation system, which is widespread here. Instead, our houses use a so-called Puritan stone, so that's a stone made of clay, in which the thermal insulation is integrated in the stone, with hydrophobic mineral wool. So a solid stone, 36.5 centimeters thick, with hydrophobic mineral wool as insulation. That means best sound insulation and best building physical properties and also the best thermal insulation.
Yeah, because of the cold, I'm guessing. And you don't want mold.
Bricklayers have made the first course and are already on the second row. So-called thin bed mortar now ensures the non-positive connection between the rows of stones. Ideal for energy-efficient building. High load capacity with a very small joint thickness of approximately 1 millimeter.
Wow.
The second row is quickly laid. A barrier film against rising damp comes over it again. The two lower rows of stones form the base of the house, which will later be clad. The walls are
I
now
think this will...
protruding over the base.
That's so scary. How
The
does it
masons are
stay?
making good progress thanks to the large-scale bricks.
Yeah, they're very big bricks. Like they're
But
big.
instead of laying row after row now,
Yeah, they're just continued
concentrate
on.
on the corners of the outer walls.
Oh, you have to measure, of course, at every step. I'm so concerned about like it's protruding. Obviously, it's safe, but I'm like it's gonna fall. Obviously, I know it won't, but that's where my mind goes.
Forming the corners has the advantage that you can easily lay out the plumb lines for the next rows of tiles. The first
Yeah, of
working
course that
day
makes
is
sense.
done.
That was just one day. I was thinking this is like a few days, like a week. I can't believe they did this in one day.
The next morning they continue with the outer walls. The
This
bricklayers
is crazy.
place
They're
row
working so
after
fast.
row.
Oh my god, this
The
it's
windows
insane how
and
it's taking
lintels are
shape.
installed. And around noon the bricklayers arrived at the last row on the ground floor.
Oh, they have to get on, I'm guessing.
Finally, the pink
Obviously, there's
styrofoam
a ladder.
formwork is laid for the concrete ceiling. The formwork also serves as insulation and remains on the building after finishing the ceiling. At the end of the
It's
second
more
working
support.
day, the outer walls of the ground floor are ready.
2 days? they're working alarmingly fast.
Day 3. Today,
Day
the
3.
interior walls
That's
are
ready,
created.
basically.
Here too, a bitumen membrane is placed under the walls to protect against rising damp. The stones are so-called vertical perforated bricks in 2 different versions. For comparison, here both on top of each other.
They're
the
so
brick
weird.
with 17.5 centimeters wall thickness for the load-bearing walls and the narrower brick with 11.5 centimeters for the non-load-bearing walls. The floor plan shows where which stone has to be used. The load-bearing walls run right through the house, between the living room, guest room, kitchen, and the utility room, and once along to the load-bearing living room wall.
Yeah, because
The
they know that's better
non-load-bearing
support.
walls run between the kitchen, living room, bathroom and the utility room. The walls are set up here just like the outer walls. Cement mortar under the first row, exact leveling of the first stones with laser. From the second row on, thin bed mortar, laser,
That's
spirit
insane.
level, plumb line and constant checking ensure exact, straight walls.
That everything's straight, yeah.
Finished. The inner walls are standing.
That's crazy.
Now
Yeah,
the
you already
base
have a
gets
room.
diffusion open seal before the cladding is coming.
Yeah, they're doing other stuff, like in the foundation.
Day
I
4.
can't believe it's just like
The
day 4.
scaffolding comes.
It's ready.
The base is clad and the masons set up pillars throughout the house to support the ceiling elements.
They removed that afterwards. I have no idea how ceilings like are built.
The next morning, exactly at 8
What
a.m.,
is this gigantic
the crane
truck?
stands for the ceiling
Oh, it's a
elements. The ceiling
Yeah, they have to use a
elements,
crane.
so-called semi-finished part ceilings, are approximately 6
Oh, it's
centimeters
done!
thick reinforced concrete slabs, in which part of the necessary reinforcement has already been inserted.
I'm so scared things
They
gonna
can
fall.
be laid quickly and flexibly, depending on the size, but then still need to be concreted.
And how do you know
For
like
this,
the
Masons
measures?
insert additional reinforcement bars.
Yeah, they serve as
Firstly,
columns, like
to
a support.
optimally connect and consolidate the ceiling with the masonry.
It's so many, like
To
so much
join
metal.
the individual ceiling elements together.
Yeah, because this is two
creates
separate
a
pieces
stable,
technically.
closed concrete ceiling after concreting. Only
And do
the
they have to
access
measure
the
all those,
stairs
like,
remains free and has to be
bars?
boarded accordingly.
Oh, they also have to like actual wood panels. I thought it was just metal. Everything it's so perfectly like placed.
Once all the
Don't they measure
reinforcement
that?
bars have
How
been
do they
laid,
know?
everything is connected with wire so that nothing moves during concrete pouring.
But how do they know? Is
The
everything's
sealing
perfectly laid
openings
out?
for the
You didn't
supply
measure
lines,
anything.
water, heating, electricity which comes to the upper floor also remain free. They
Oh,
get
there's an open
polystyrene
floor.
covers before concreting.
That's crazy to me. Again,
The
it's so
concrete
perfectly
for the
laid.
ceiling
How
can
did they do
come.
this?
A total of approximately 12 cubic meters of concrete flow into the formwork for the approximately 10 by 10 meters ceiling slab. It is important to evenly distribute and prevent air pockets. Therefore, constantly push the concrete back and forth.
What happens
that
if
the air
there's
can
air
escape.
bubbles?
The height must of course also be correct and is constantly checked with the laser.
The laser is super useful.
Done.
And how do they not leave like footprints?
Now the concrete is compacted with a surface vibrator. The surface vibrator
that
directs
thing?
high-frequency vibrations into the concrete. This increases the
compact it?
flowability of the fresh concrete. Air pockets rise to the surface and can escape.
Yeah, I can see the difference. That's
This gives
insane.
the concrete its perfect, dense consistency.
Yeah, but it's insane. I can see the difference between like where the thing's passing through and the other part. That's insane.
Finished.
It
Now
looks
the
so
concrete
sleek and
ceiling
perfect.
has to harden.
That's a day, I think, or more. Oh,
A
the
few
countdown
days
starts
later,
again.
The
Yeah.
bricklayers
Oh, it's a few
start
days.
with
Okay.
the upper floor.
What happens
The
if it rains?
construction is the same as on the ground floor. The outer walls are created again with the thermal brick made of Puritan stone with hydrophobized mineral wool.
Yeah, it's the same bricks.
First the corners are created again, then the entire outer walls. However, there are no longer any load-bearing walls inside. All
Because they're
partitions for
below.
the master bedroom, dressing room, bathroom, children's room and corridor are built with the narrower, vertically perforated brick with a wall thickness of 11.5 centimeters.
What are the green like
After 4
What's the
days,
green thing?
the upper floor is also
4
up.
days?
As a conclusion, only the anchor ring plate is missing. For this,
What's
the
that?
bricklayers have already put a formwork on the top row of bricks, into which reinforcement bars are now being laid. The anchor ring, as the name suggests, runs like a ring around the entire top
they have a
edge
chimney?
of masonry. This reinforced concrete construction gives the wall stability. The
Oh, more
anchor ring
concrete.
plate is
Makes
used
sense.
to absorb and transfer horizontal tensile forces such as wind, ground vibrations and the roof load itself.
Yeah, like earthquakes and the weight of the
If
yeah
the
makes sense.
concrete
Weight
is
of the floor.
filled, it must be compacted again with the
I
surface
love the
vibrator.
I love the surface vibrator. That's insane. I love it.
The masonry work is now complete. The walls of the
It's
house
insane.
stand.
It's kind of
Construction
done?
time for the 2 floors, 10 days.
10 days. Wow. Okay, that was crazy. I'm like it's blowing my mind. I don't really know. Again, I don't know much about architecture or building. I don't know how like you create a floor. I'm obviously I watched it and I'm still a little like it's crazy. Obviously it's like it's science, it's physics, but it's still to me I think it's like mind-blowing that we are able to like do this. I don't understand how the house is like you can build a house like this. It's like it looks like magic. But I know obviously it's gonna be like sounds a little silly, but it is like magic that the house like you can build. I don't know, like the house is like literally like taking shape in front of our very eyes. So that's why it looks like, oh my god, it looks like it just appeared. Although obviously I know that it didn't appear. Like I watched it working. But the sense of like again the thing just like building itself is like, oh my god, that's crazy. But I understand obviously like the foundations, it looks when you see it like it looks easy in a way, but obviously it isn't. Like, it takes a huge amount of work. But again, it only took them 10 days. I was thinking that it's going to take them like a few months at least. And it's like, no, 10 days. I'm surprised by how fast they work. I don't really know how many people were working in this. I think I counted at least like 15 people, 10 to 15, maybe it's more. But it's still incredible to me how fast they are able to work. Like the foundation, well, not even the foundation, because like the walls are ready. So it's almost like the whole house. You can build a whole house, ready to move, maybe in like, I don't know, a month and a half or something, which is like, I thought that they took longer. I don't know if it's a thing in Germany or in general, but it's like, wait, you're going way too fast. I thought that building houses took a little more time. I love the compact. I already forgot the name. The thing that compacts the cement. I love that because you can really do see like the difference. You can see the difference between like the thing that where the machine passed through and the actual like cement that it's still sort of like corrugated and it looks like thicker and I don't know, just like, yeah, it looks like goo, but in the other one it's just like perfectly flat, perfectly like I don't know, smooth. And I didn't know how, and they don't really understand what happens if like air bubbles like get in, but I'm guessing it's bad. And I love that, yeah, you have like this machine that makes it like super sleek. I thought it was at first I thought it was just gonna be like the after like the concrete floor, we're gonna get like the roof, but no, it was a second floor, which I'm surprised about. Also, I don't really know how the support walls work, and the whole like the metal like support also works. I don't know if it's basic, like it's just basic construction 101. You just like know these things, you know where to put them, or it's like, no, you really do have to check the layout and see, okay, so we have like a support wall here and here and here, and how do they know where to put them? I don't know if it's something like it's whatever you want to put them, or again, it's like, no, you have to like put them in some specific places in order for the house to actually, it's safe, because it's not going to collapse on top of itself, which I think it's probably, the biggest concern while building a house, that the thing's just gonna fall apart. I also don't know if they use this method in almost all houses like throughout the world. I know that USA does not. I'm pretty sure. I think usually they have other methods. I think they use more wood, more like wood panels, and they don't really use like that much masonry, I think. But I don't know, I'm not super sure. The whole like putting like the bricks, and the fact that they use like the special bricks, that I don't think I've ever seen bricks like that before. I'm used to like the bricks being either like slabs of, I think, cement or concrete. I know like the gray ones, or the red ones that I think are maybe terracotta or something. I don't know, but it's like, it's made out of clay, which I'm also a little surprised about, because I would think clay, but isn't clay like moldable? Like I would think it's a soft material, but maybe like it's not. It's like very, very tough. And also they also like pour concrete on it, so obviously to make it like super safe. But yeah, I really love this. This was incredibly interesting. I felt like I learned a lot, and now I want to see like, hey, how does the house, how do you put like the roof on the house? And also I'm surprised again by how like incredible like the craftsmanship. Like it's incredible how they can work that fast and be so efficient, because in my mind I'm like, it's gonna take them a few months, and it's like, no, it took them like days. Like especially like the first part where you have to lay out like the corners and stuff. I was thinking, well, sure, it's gonna be like 3 days, and he was like, no, that's just 1 day, and the whole thing was like almost ready. And I also wanted to like, how do they know how many like bricks they need beforehand? They measure and they say, hey, we need 1,000 bricks, or they just sort of like sort of eyeball it, or you're like, we need to order more bricks. I have no idea. Again, so many questions, but yeah, this is incredibly interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.